This isn't the first time we've heard an accusation like this towards what happens to female characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or in superhero shows in general, and it probably won't be the last. But when Sarah Michelle Gellar decided to open her mouth in a recent promotional tour, she said something that has been debunked multiple times, but she just couldn't help it. Even though she herself really came to fame by playing essentially an action star, an action hero in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that doesn't stop her from making comments like this. Sarah Michelle Gellar claims female-led Marvel films face heavy criticism because audiences only want male superheroes. It's a very backwards way of thinking. So despite the fact that we've had so many female action stars over the years, whether you're looking at, I don't know, Tomb Raider, whether you're looking at Kill Bill, whether you're looking all the way back in things like Alien, right? With Ripley, with Sarah Connor in Terminator, all this stuff, right? No problem with that. When it specifically comes to superhero movies, then that's when it becomes a problem, according to Sarah Michelle Gellar. Again, despite her rising to prominence due to her role as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you can't make this shit up. Was there a big pushback? Was there heavy criticism for Wonder Woman? I don't think so. Maybe that's because Wonder Woman wasn't marketed to be like, hey, Wonder Woman is better than each and every man in history. All men are trash. And if you don't watch this, you're a bigot. And maybe it's because the movie ended up being pretty decent. Most people like the movie. But when it comes to other things, they want to selectively pick and choose and say, look, you just hate it because it's a woman. So fucking stupid. In the latest instance of celebrity blaming the fans for the failings of a multi-million-dollar entertainment franchise rather than giving even the slightest consideration to the fact the studios themselves may be responsible for their own problems, actress Sarah Michelle Gellar has claimed the heavy criticism leveled at the female-led Marvel projects stem not from issues with their quality, but rather audiences' own inability to accept non-male superheroes. Look at Black Widow. Think of how popular Scarlett Johansson was as Black Widow throughout basically the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to her death. Now, people would have been excited as hell for a Black Widow movie, and some people even still were. But then when we saw what it was about and how bad the actual movie was, it got a lot of pushback for good reason, because it was not a good movie. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer star offered her opinion on the topic of gendered superhero criticism during a recent interview given to UK news outlet The Guardian in promotion for her new supernatural young adult drama series, Wolfpack. At one point, reflecting as her time as Buffy, Gellar opened that scheduling conflicts with her role as the series lead led her to turn down a number of potential roles for films that were great successes like Fight Club or Gangs in New York. She was proud both to have made a great television show. My mom was a single mother working just above the poverty line. I got to travel the world, see and do things I never would have been afforded to me, said the actress before admitting that despite the temporary career burnout, she's just now returning. I love what I do, which is work, work, work. Genre is where women can really succeed and hold an audience. That is, however, save for films in the superhero genre where the audience or where the actress argued they were unfairly excoriated if they focused on a female hero. Turning her attention to the current kingpin of spandex tights heavy films, Gellar lamented, every time a Marvel movie tries to do a female cast, it just gets torn apart. Unfortunately, audiences weren't as accepting. There's still this mentality of the male superhero, this very backwards way of thinking. And again, it's so funny for somebody that got famous in the 90s for being a female action star, really. Now, of course, there was some more drama and stuff like that in Buffy, certainly, but nobody had a problem with Buffy doing that. There was a huge fan base for that show. We've seen that for female action stars over and over again, but somehow, according to Sarah Michelle Gellar, superheroes is where that really comes into play. When you look at the crap that Marvel has been shoveling down people's throats, there's been heavy criticism for female-led projects. There's been heavy criticism for male-led projects, because at the end of the day, what we're getting out of it is subpar. That's the reality. What Marvel, the garbage they've been putting out is just that. It's garbage. And for people to turn around time and time again and blame it on, well, they must just not like women, despite all the evidence to the contrary. Again, where were all these people for Wonder Woman? Where were all these people that just despised every female character ever for Wonder Woman? Why wasn't there backlash for that? It's almost like the marketing for that was a little bit different. And it's almost like people actually enjoyed the film. Same type of bullshit they like to call out for when they're like, oh, audiences just don't like seeing black characters. We're all these racists when the first Black Panther movie came out. All of a sudden, they just came out for Wakanda Forever to criticize it. Is that the case? Somehow, some way? Oh, maybe that. Oh, well, maybe that is because it's a woman. It's because there's more women in that. It's all a joke, and these Hollywood elites are so out of touch. They would rather blame the audience than admit that Hollywood is the cause of its own demise. And Sarah Michelle Gellar did just that.